Hello, this is Lady Boulay, and I hope you're having a most marvelous day. Thank you for your support. Thank you for subscribing to the channel. Thank you for your thumbs up, for your comments, and thank you for sharing the videos. Thank you for all you do to support the channel. And yes, we are commanded to love one another, whether we want to or not, or whether we agree with each other or not. We are commanded to love one another. Now, Black Chicagoans are really being put to the test on this because they are being imposed upon in a way that most Americans are not being imposed upon. And they're having to take a stand because, after all, enough is enough. Black people in Chicago have had to work harder than anybody else to secure a homestead for themselves. Now, the Democrats, and this is Democrats doing this, they decided that, well, let's see now, who are we going to impose on? I know, let's impose on the people we've always imposed on. Let's impose on the black people. And they're so bold with it that they are going to take facilities that black people are already using and use those facilities to house these people who came into this country illegally. That's what gets me. They keep telling these people to stop coming, but they keep coming because they know nothing is going to be done about it. And the Democrats are always counting on black people to be welcoming, to welcome these people into their communities, even though those people don't even show gratitude, from what I've been told. The other day, hundreds were out protesting because they are planning to turn a Munson Park field house, and this is a popular spot, from what I understand, for after-school use. They're going to turn this into an emergency shelter for the illegals. The city government of Chicago has spent $328 million in aid for these illegal immigrants. That is reparation money for Black Chicagoans. So the Daily Mail wrote that Chicago residents have expressed fury at the city's government for offering shelter to a massive influx of asylum seekers, as a youth football team is set to be kicked off their home field to make room for a migrant camp. Now, these are inner city Chicago youth, black kids, who are using this field for their football team and for their football games. Now they're going to take that away from these black kids and give it to these illegals, because that's the only way you can put it. And again, more than 17,000 migrants have arrived in Chicago since August of 2022, with more than 10,000 in shelters and close to 3,200 staying in police stations and the O'Hare International Airport. See, this is ridiculous. When something goes on with every other group of people, they seem to know what to do, but they don't seem to know what to do with these illegals. There's something really wrong with this. And they think they're being so clever. They're picking these democratic cities, these democratic strongholds that call themselves sanctuary cities, most of which have black mayors, and they're putting the burden off on the black mayors, expecting the black citizens not to say anything because the mayors are black. But in Chicago, they've had enough. And the other day, they read the mayor, the city government, and everybody that's responsible for dumping those people into their neighborhoods.
If there are any elected officials in this room, I want you to pay attention. Because, see, I want Mayor Brandon Johnson to understand that you're selling us out for people who can't vote for you. We stood with you. And now you stand and you slap us in the face. I tell you what, tomorrow we're going to punch you in the face at the polling places. We won't stand for this. We say no. Okay. I'm going to make mine short because I was going to make a speech, but it's too heated in here. My question is, who owns this park?
I'm sorry?
Who owns this park?
The city does. You guys, the residents of this city owns the parks.
So why are we having this argument then? We should be able to make a decision.
Say that again, ma'am.
Why are we in here arguing about this? If we own this park, we should be able to make a decision.
I agree with you.
That's just like anything. Like I own my house, I make a decision about my house. If this is our park, we should be able to make a decision about
this community should have been a part of the public engagement before this decision was made.
Right.
I agree with you on that. Go ahead. Danielle Hayes?
Right here.
Okay, Ms. Hayes, go ahead.
So look, I just want to put a face to this situation because these people live here. I don't know how actively these people use this park, but my son comes here every day after school because I have to work. Because I don't have any help, this is what this park was put here for my son to come here so he can be safe, so I don't have to worry about him out with somebody that's not going to worry about his well-being. And that's important to me. You know, my mama did the same thing for me when I grew up. I came here all the way till I was 12 years old. After school, summer school, spring break, all that. I was here. And now it's continuing on to the the next generation. I'm 33 years old. I live here. I've never lived anywhere else. This is my community. This is my park. This park has served me and my family for many years.
Thank you.
We have a hard no for immigrants coming here. A very hard no.
We come in a community of black people where we already get the low scraps. And then you want to take the little scrap, the resources that we have, and put us at the bottom of the barrel? That's not fair, and I won't have it.
We're going to have a shelter at this particular location. I'm doing my part to continue to make sure that Chicagoans who have been in this city, who have needed support, and particularly our black families. I know there's been a tremendous burden, particularly on Black Chicago. I am fully aware of that. Y'all know where I live. Y'all know how many schools have been shut down in Austin, mental health clinics. Administration after administration has taken away from black people, not mine. And I want to make this point very clear as well. We're trying to make sure that migrants are not on floors. So when individuals say that black folks want what migrants want, it's not true. It's not. Black folks want what they deserve. And to compare the needs of black people to individuals who are being forced out of their countries because of bad foreign policy, who are living on floors, comparing the conditions in which descendants of slaves have had to endure to migrants who are sleeping on floors, I question how much you actually care and love about black people and understand their conditions.
So this was part of what went on at that meeting. The city government of Chicago designated this park that these citizens are using and have been using, she says, for over 30 years. And they made a decision without even discussing it with the citizens of Chicago. They're just going to assume it's okay to take a facility that black people, primarily black people, these are black people in this room, complaining about the city taking a facility away from them and their children and giving it to somebody that just walked across the border because they didn't want to live in their own country anymore. And this is how black people have to advocate. I must say that I am very proud of the citizens of Chicago because in years past, they just do it and then there's no accountability. So the mayor actually had to come up and speak to these citizens. So this is what's going on in Chicago. And I think every community, black, white, and otherwise, is going to have to gear up for this fight. Now, down here in the South, in these red states, they're not so quick to send these immigrants here because they pretty much know if they come here, they're going right back where they came from. But in these big cities where black people live, where they have a history of taking advantage of black people, they think they can continue to do it. So I, for one, am glad to see the citizens of Chicago taking a stand. Because if they continue to take a stand, they will have to do something else. And I believe that they're ready for that fight. But I'm going to stay on top of this. One of my subscribers or viewers asked me several times to do this, and I have been paying attention to it, but I hadn't focused on it. But now I'm focused on it, so I will continue to pay attention to what's going on in Chicago, because this is something that every community is probably going to have to do before it's over, because they seem determined to bring all of these illegal immigrants into this country. And this is a sign that somebody posted on the Black Chicago website. So this is what the Democrats need to pay attention to this, because come election time, they might not be able to depend on black people, especially in these large cities where it is so important that black people vote for Democrats. So, okay, everybody, let me know what you think about this video and what's going on in Chicago. Thank you for listening. Subscribe to the channel, give me a thumbs up, leave a comment, share the video, and as always, have a great day.